Hi everyone and welcome back to DIY with Dave. I recently saw something in a home under construction that I've never seen before, and it really made me wonder what these builders are up to. So I've looked into it. In this video I'm going to tell you all about it, so stick around. So I live in an area with a lot of new homes that are still under construction, and I keep seeing something in these new homes that got me wondering about whether these builders are really trying to cheap out and cut corners. So what I saw was this lumber that has been finger jointed. Basically, it's a bunch of small pieces of wood that have been glued together to make much larger boards. When I first I thought, you gotta be kidding me. Lumber is so expensive, these builders are saving all these tiny scraps of wood and gluing them together. As I looked into it though, I learned that it's not quite that simple. Now, before I go into what I found, I should say that I don't work in construction, and so to some people what I'm about to explain may seem obvious, but to me it was definitely new. So first of all, a finger joint is a type of wood joint that's used to glue two pieces of wood together at their ends, like this. It's a strong joint because there's a lot of glue surface area, and this type of joint is used frequently in all sorts of wooden things, from door frames to moldings to furniture. And what I learned is that all this finger jointed lumber was not made from job site cutoffs, but is actually made at lumber mills. Now the process is pretty simple. As lumber is manufactured, it's cut to standard lengths, and there's often little bits that are cut off the ends. In the past, these lumber cutoffs would just be discarded, but now lumber mills are taking these smaller pieces and cutting in finger joints. From there, they apply glue and they stick them together. After that glue dries, you're left with long pieces of lumber which are graded and stamped and then ready for use in construction. So basically the mills are taking what would normally be waste, making boards out of it and selling it to builders who are then using those boards in new home construction. So the question is, are these builders cutting corners? Well, not exactly. While finger jointed boards do tend to be cheaper, they also offer some other benefits. First, there's the obvious benefit of stretching out the wood supply further by not throwing out pieces that may still be useful. But beyond that, many framers swear that finger jointed studs don't bend or warp as much as regular studs. The reason for that is that the grain of these smaller pieces is running in slightly different directions. And so any movement that takes place is irregular, whereas in a normal Home Depot 2x4, you end up with uniform movement and one of these beauties. So the fact that they don't warp or move as much makes framing easier and can also cut down on the amount of nails or screws that will pop out of the drywall of a finished house after the wood dries over the years. Now, one obvious problem with these studs is that they're most certainly weaker than a solid piece of wood. Now that said, I think that if they're used vertically and not horizontally, they should have a comparable strength to a regular 2x4, but I'll leave it to the engineers to tell me if that's really true. So while builders may not necessarily be cutting corners by using these finger jointed boards, I'll be honest, I'm still pretty skeptical, and I would really love to hear what all of you think. Are you a builder or a framer and have some experience with these boards? Was your home built with these boards? Are they in fact better? Or do you see any differences? Be sure to let me know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more great content like this, and we'll see you in the next one.